tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. Welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution. We got a big show today.
Huge
show. We're gonna flip it over to Jables. There she is.
You don't have to.
There she is.
The people don't. They can just. I can be heard and not seen.
Look,
as you tell me all the time.
I you know my rule on it.
Sure. And
heard, not seen.
Yes.
Use your inside voice. I say that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If I clap my hands twice,
yes,
that means I want food.
Right.
So.
Another thing you always say is that I am to nibble in public, but a lady only dines in private. And I wasn't. You know I don't like that one. You know I don't like that one, right? Because I love to eat. And I'm not ashamed to shovel something in my face in public.
Boy. You got me early this morning. You got me.
What do you mean? It's what you say to me all the time.
Oh, that's great. Could you imagine if I did?
It's how it used to be.
The uproar. It's the way it should be.
Listen, yeah.
Those were simpler
times.
Better
Those
were simpler times. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. There was a hierarchy. There was a caste system, and
just made sense. You know, everybody knew where they stood. They knew what they were allowed to do, and there's none of this. Me too. Time's up. None
of that shit. None of that. There's no protesting. There was nothing back then.
No voting.
Yeah,
no.
You had to ask to leave the house. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, voting, driving was often frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you brought that up. One of my best friends, Evan Hafer.
Oh yes, yeah.
He sleeps in separate beds. He has for 2.5 years.
I get it.
Strictly, he's got 2 kids.
Yep.
And he's like, dude, I like to work late. She's a light sleeper. If I wake her up, it's game over. And he's been doing it for about 2 years and says it's changed their marriage.
Yeah, I think they're a little farther along in their marriage.
Are they? How long?
I don't know. I think they've been married longer, maybe than us. Not sure.
Maybe.
But
Maybe.
I mean, I think eventually you get there. The romance is gone.
Sure, yeah. You just need to put 2 single beds in.
You just need to
go old school.
Do your work. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is going to be the best thing for me to get my work done and you to get your work done?
Lucy and Desi.
Yeah, it's for us not to be together.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? All the time.
Ugh. Boy, that would be a strain, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Gosh, if we could just completely separate lives.
I'd get so much done.
I know.
Wouldn't you?
I know. Like work-wise, if I didn't have to deal with you every day.
Fucking family thing that just gets in the way of productivity.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? These kids. Too
much
time.
What are you going to do?
Too much time. I'd like to start off the top of the show by addressing the Alabama UGA game.
Do it.
We were live the other nights. We were recording during the middle of that game. And it was, I was flipping over to it on the old computador.
Sure.
Snooze fest.
Yeah.
Snooze fest. 13-0. Georgia was up at halftime. Everybody online was saying this is one of the most boring games they've ever seen. What we didn't know was that Nick Saban, the coach of Alabama, was going to empty his entire bench full of freshmen. Yeah. Well, that too. He emptied his entire ball sack all over Georgia.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, what happened? Because we finished recording and then I went downstairs and ended up watching the rest of it because it was on super fucking late. I don't think that game ended till close to 12:31 in the morning, which was for a college football game was late, but it went in overtime.
Right.
He emptied his entire bench and played all freshmen. Freshmen who had never seen the field essentially before. So I'm talking quarterback, wide receivers, running back, just not giving a fuck. I thought it appeared to me that he was just kind of giving up and was maybe trying to get these kids some experience. Little did we know that they ended up coming back and beating Georgia in one of the most devastating losses of all time. If it wasn't enough, if you're, because chances are, if you're a Georgia fan, you're probably a Falcons fan too.
Right.
Those are two of the worst losses for a Georgia team that you can take in one year. And boy, had no idea as we were recording live. I was like, this game is over. It was it was one of the ugliest games I've ever seen.
So I was surprised when I woke up for it to be like such a devastating thing.
It was one of the ugliest games I've ever seen because it seemed like in the second half, like a spring scrimmage, which, you know, you use all of your bench and you use all of your freshmen to see what they could potentially do. In no means do they ever usually see the field, especially in the national championship in the second half. I've never seen anything like that in my life. But yeah, ugly game. There were no winners there, except for Nick Saban. Nick Saban is, fuck man, that guy just keeps doing it. And I'll get some more on him later. Because look, I will say after that game, he has to go down as the greatest college football coach of all time. Is it pretty to watch? No. But
Sure.
He certainly is the best. And what he's able to do with that, and I don't want to say lack of talent on the offensive side, but Alabama's never had a great offense for 100 fucking years. And to win 5 titles in 9 years in this crazy, weird, boring route, except for the national championship, where he emptied his bench and played people he's never played before, is a wild feat. And I've never seen anything like it. Nor has anybody else. But we'll get to the sponsors who pay for this whole fucking thing to be on the air.
Sure.
First and foremost, we're talking about BlackRifleCoffee.com. BlackRifleCoffee.com. They're our chief sponsor for all of 2018. They got the K-Cups. These are my jam right here. This is just black, and they got caffeinated as fuck. Those are 2 of my faves. They also got some sweet apparel. I've got their rocking their hoodies all the time and their tees all the fucking time. Big fan of BlackRifleCoffee.com. We've been getting a subscription of the month club for them for, I don't know, a year. So the fact that they came on and sponsored it is a dream come true. They're a premium roast to order coffee company. Home base is out of Salt Lake City.
Love it.
Yeah. And I've been there many times, got to see them make the coffee. It really is fresh. They're not rebagging the shit. And they're veteran owned, which is fucking awesome. So go to blackriflecoffee.com. Get yourself a subscription of the month and join the coffee club. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. Can't say how much we love those guys at blackriflecoffee.com. Next up, we got straightrazors.com. Straightrazors.com. These little guys, dude. Boom, boom. These little handymen.
Look at how nice that looks.
I know. You think, like, you watch like Dollar Shave Club and shit like that online, and you're like, all right, how great are these going to be against Dollar Shave Club?
Oh, Dollar Shave Club kind of sucks.
It's garbage. Dollar Shave Club is fucking trash. I don't.
Is known to be trash, actually.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't get down on that shit, man. I use good razors because it's the one thing. If you have a bad shave, it fucks up the rest of your day and week. Like, I've had a couple, real bad shaves in my life where it fucked up my face forever.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Straightrazors.com has got the premier shaving equipment in the biz. If you're a dude, you got to go there. They got beard oils, mustache waxes. They got shampoo and conditioner, which is amazing. Their aftershave is ranked number 1 in the world, and so is their cologne. It's called Smolder. I highly recommend it. Go to straightrazors.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. Get yourself a kit. Last but not least, we're talking about StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, I like that, James. I like that a lot today.
Blowing it up.
Yeah, you got a lot of energy. A lot of hype. A lot of hype.
I don't. I'm
today.
trying.
You're good.
Hey, listen.
You're good. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. It's time to get rid of the can, kids. Cans are over. You can kick the can. They got 4 original flavors. We're talking about Make America Grape again. They got original. They got orange. They got lemon. They got everything. They got a fucking 750 milliliter bottle that just rests on your countertop or bar top. You can just pop a couple squirts in your drink and boom, boom, you're on your way to go. It's a tasty, tiny little tin pouch. Packets are 99 cents. A box of them is only like $9.95, and they ship everywhere in the entire world. They also have a subscription month club, which we have, which is a real nice goddamn thing.
Listen, anything that you can put on subscription, like in this busy life,
I know,
do it. Because it just makes everything easier. I promise.
A lot of people don't understand that. I would look
because it's
for a while I wasn't on that train, the subscription of the month club train, because I was like, I don't want this shit coming to my house, getting a backlog or whatever. It doesn't actually. I find myself like, in particular with Black Rifle, I find myself waiting for it, where it's just like,
definitely,
oh, shit.
like we're like, oh, I should have ordered more. Even.
Yeah. We drink a lot of coffee in this house. I also drink a lot of Strike Force, so
right.
Got both, and we're good to go. Speaking of that game, by the way, there was a man who killed his wife over that game.
You get it, though, right?
I 100% get it.
I knew you would get it.
People were outraged online. They were like, oh, God. How could he do it? Why is he so cruel? I don't understand.
Well, he killed her, right?
He did, but...
so look, I get that outrage a little bit.
She probably changed it right when that kick, the horrific kicker from Alabama missed his 9th field goal from 30 yards. Because I'll be honest, that game should have been way over.
God, I can't even imagine.
That's why that game was so sloppy. Like Georgia had no offense in the second half. Alabama's kicker was missing 30-yard field goals by like a mile. It wasn't even like, oh man, he just barely missed it. No, I mean, it was missing field goals by like 30 yards to the left and right. And you were watching this game, and you were like, fuck, how bad can this get? Like, this looks like a fucking scrimmage in a spring game. And this guy came in. I bet you he was an Alabama fan. He's from Arkansas. So that could go either way. It could be a Georgia fan or Alabama.
Sure.
Fan. He came back in. He was smoking a heater on the fucking porch, and you get it, Affleck style, you know.
Sure.
Winner, Arkansas.
Right. Why not? Get out there.
If you find his picture online, go to ArkansasOnline.com and pull up this guy's picture. He looks exactly like you picture he would look.
Go to Arkansas
online. Yeah, they have the article, and because it's Arkansas. They've got a very similar thing to a crime corner. It's called Right to Know.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, we are doing a crime corner tonight, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah,
we are.
Woo! But this guy smoking a heater, enjoying his fucking life, watching the game, comes back in. His fucking wife changed the channel. I guarantee you it's probably during the second half. So he comes in and he said, what's the score of the game? It's on a commercial.
Been there.
I don't know. I changed it.
Right.
Boom. He grabs a knife from the kitchen and starts stabbing her.
Oh my God.
Repeatedly. Yeah. Not only is he stabbing her repeatedly, then he drags the body out into the backyard. Just get her out of there. I don't know if he watched the rest of the game or not. Before the police were called.
You don't know? What would be your guess?
My guess would be he watched the rest of the fucking game.
Sure.
But I would assume like the neighbors heard screaming or something and saw a body being dragged
Listen,
out.
you never know what their sitch is. They could be in the middle of...
He called. The husband actually called the police. He said, bring the meat wagon and the police. Because he just killed his wife. The meat wagon?
Oh my God.
What's a meat wagon? Is that a
that's
corner?
Like, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of the term meat wagon. I just picture that's a wagon for dragging your dick around, you know?
Sure. Or just like cows, meat hanging in a cold.
Yeah. Bring the meat wagon.
Oh.
I killed her.
Yeah. God.
Either or, he should have called after the game. If the game meant that much to him, he should have called after the game. But I totally understand it. I
bet there was some other things at play there.
Doubt it.
No, nope. No other issues that
seemed like a happy couple.
Either one of them had.
Seemed like a happy couple.
Sure. Okay.
This guy looks like a grommet, missing teeth, the whole shit.
Right.
Exactly what you picture somebody in Arkansas.
Yeah. No offense.
Looking like. No offense to Arkansas. Have you been to Arkansas?
No.
Oh, I've been. The stereotype is real.
Okay.
And there's not, look, there is a couple cities, maybe Little Rock, that's like, cool, we have some, stuff. Other than that, it is, that's not God's country. It's whatever the opposite of that is.
Right. Devil's playground.
Yeah. That's a lot to endure. Yeah. Arkansas is a lot to endure. Isn't that, the Ozarks is in Missouri.
Yeah.
But, hey, you're right on the border there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm assuming happy couple.
Sure.
Never had an argument.
Sounds like it.
This was probably the first time. I understand his rage here. I wanted to do this the other night to you when you were recorded I always call them desperate housewives, which should
they
be.
Are.
It's the same.
They're thirsty. Yeah.
What is it? The Real Housewives of everywhere.
Yep.
You had recorded a 30-pack marathon.
No, I didn't. No,
Yep.
I didn't. I recorded
30 shows.
3 just to have on deck if anything should go down.
I'm watching the game. Same thing. I wasn't smoking a heater, but I went to take a piss, and I come back in, and the channel had flipped. And I
didn't do it though. It was automatically. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Right. We have Dish, which I love, by the way. Big fan of Dish.
Huge.
You can record 5 shows at a time. So imagine my surprise when 5 shows were recording at the same time, and then it flipped over from the game to that.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. We were real close to an incident like this.
I definitely, I think, told you to calm down.
Yeah.
I was like, you can fucking calm down. Like,
Nope.
I'll figure it out. I got it back to the channel, and I was like, you will be fine.
I didn't know if I was going to be or not.
You're still talking about it.
I know this. I missed a score. I missed the score of the game.
And I apologize.
It was, you know what it was? It was the Ohio State USC game in the Cotton Bowl. I was watching that.
Pish posh.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, we're about to score. What's going on? And then that happened. There's some fucking girl with 90 surgeries just screaming, I don't know why he's taking my kids.
Right.
I don't know why. I know why he's taking your goddamn kids, because you're a nightmare.
Sure.
You're a fucking nightmare. Missed that score, and literally I started going around the kitchen looking for knives.
Yeah.
Call the meat wagon. That's where I was at. Call the fucking meat wagon.
That is hard fucking core, dude. Oof.
If you know to call the meat wagon, though, do you know that that's what they're there for? I've never heard that fucking term.
I don't know.
Is he friends with somebody else who's been killed or murdered?
Maybe
that's a
he's
specific
like,
request.
Maybe he's in the industry, if you will.
I don't know. I don't know what industry he's in. If you pull up his picture, I can't take a guess at that industry. He's in the killing field, is what he's in. Where the price of murder is always high. That's what it is.
Right.
That was a fucking bold move, though. You're a little. Yeah. You're welcome for that. You're welcome for that.
That is an interesting haircut. That is
You've wanted to kill somebody, though. You wanted to kill somebody this morning.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
How close on a scale of 1 to this guy in Arkansas were you from killing that guy?
Pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
why don't you tell the crowd what happened?
So listen,
here?
It's just another example of like people in this town just being not quite right. Do you know what I mean? Like good at their job, things, whatever.
Sure.
But just off a little bit.
A little bit.
You know what I mean? Either late or super early or just not, things are sloppy or whatever. It's just a little bit off. So I was supposed to get a dumpster. We're doing some spring cleaning.
Yep.
And they were supposed to come at 9.
Yeah.
6:30.
6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m.
Yep.
In the dark, I get a call from this really chipper delivery guy.
He was so loud, I could hear
You
him
heard
through
him?
the phone. Yeah. And I believe he said to you, I'll give you 20 minutes to wipe the slobber off your face.
Yeah. And his energy was very disrespectful to, it's one of these things like these people, in order for him to be chipper at 6,
Yeah.
what time did he have to get up? And
4:35.
4:35. And you're in a very small group, small percentage
That gets
of
up at
people,
that time. Yeah.
And you know it. Don't act like, oh, you're the weird one. You know it. You're walking around these people that are jogging or go to the coffee shop right when they open. You know you're in a small percentage because nobody the fuck is out.
Yeah, I actually have a theory on this. I think they don't know. And the reason why is people who get up that early, I found in my life, and my friends, I have a few friends who get up that early, who get up that early in the morning, they've always been early bird gets the worm. I'm starting the day early. And they look at other people who don't get up that early as like, I don't know what your problem is.
Listen, and we do have a military, military listeners that like, that's just how they get the most done. They just get up that early.
It's also when you're trained. You're trained to get up that early, and that's when you have to start the day.
It's cool, man. It's cool. I believe that our listeners know that not everybody gets up at that time.
No.
And you can be judgy about it. Go ahead. Do it.
Sure.
But don't call someone, or when you're talking to people, the barista that's making your coffee, like the first fucking coffee they make because you're like waiting outside.
Right.
Or the people that you encounter on your jog that may be walk of shame or something like that. Your energy has to be at a level that's respectful to them.
Right.
You can't, hey man, what's up? I'm just like, hello. I don't even know who it is. Yeah. Because it's a number I didn't call.
Sure.
Hey, got a dumpster for you. Yeah, it's like, no, be calm, like a hello. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm here. Sorry to wake you. Something like that. Right. Or these people, like, you walk into work. They've already been there, whatever. Hey.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You have to be at a respectful level until everyone else is awake.
Is awake, yeah. Yeah.
And let me give you 20 minutes to wipe the slobber.
Yeah. Boy,
I did not find it funny.
No. What was he like in person when you met him in person?
He was like, "Oh, did I wake you?" Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
You did. But I obviously was like, "No problem. Yeah. Whatever." But was mad. Well, I like to do the being mad, but being really nice to their face.
Whenever you get a 3-hour window for something, they're either going to be.
It wasn't.
Yeah. But
it was 9 o'clock that they said.
But either way, on most of these deliveries and things like this, whenever you get a window of delivery, they're either going to be an hour fucking early, and you're not going to be either awake or there, or they're going to be super fucking late.
Yeah.
There is no like, I am going to be there at the time I said I'm going to be there ever. Chances are they got a bunch of deliveries and all that shit. Mm-hmm. He probably wanted to knock this one out. He had a piece of ass waiting on him tonight, and that was what it is. But to go back to your point of like why it's just a little off in this town, because we live in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a beach town, is what it is.
Sure.
Beach boating.
I'm
everybody's
from a beach town
boating,
too, though.
Yeah. Well,
good.
There is, but when I've been in Ventura, it's real laid back. It's real casual.
Sure, but you're still
super casual.
You're still in the like LA County. Like you still need to keep your shit tight because you're gonna get someone else is gonna come, and here it's like everyone's cornered their market.
Yes,
yeah. And that's it. And they do as much work as they want to do. You got to give them 2 weeks notice for everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit crazy. But there was a girl that I used to work at a hair salon. There was a woman there that we didn't get along strictly because we probably would have been fine.
Sure.
We didn't get along strictly because as soon as I would walk in, 9:30, 10, it's fine. It's not super early, but that's just the beginning of your day. Let me get a coffee. Let me just relax. She would be in your face as soon as you, hi.
Right.
And then really weird that, very, hello. One of those, you didn't say hi to her. So it's hello, Jessie.
Oh, yeah.
So, didn't get along with her because of her disrespectful morning energy.
Sure. I know who you're talking about.
Keep it in check. I know, but keep it in check, you guys, because some of us are losers.
I can't stand it.
Judge me silently, but keep your level.
I'm a night person too, so it's man, I cannot get those peepers open and be energetic and chipper toward your shit.
Sure. So anyways, that was my morning. So it was up 2 hours before I was meant to get up for my day.
Yeah.
And it's already been a big day.
Big day.
So,
big day for you.
That's the thing. That's the deal.
Look, if you're in the market for jobs, though, in a town like this, again, when you've cornered it, you don't give a shit. There's a place. The population here doesn't lend itself for multiple fucking dumpster guys.
I don't know. Definitely, we need plumbers out here. If anybody is a plumber or in construction or handymen,
yep.
like
skilled labor is
but
always...
the people that take pride in their work, like I've always said, you know, you show up on time, you know, put the booties on the feet before you come into somebody's house, you shower, you fucking clean up after yourself, like boom, you're gonna like go far here.
Sure.
Just
a lot of these towns, again,
and
a lot
I think,
of like beach towns where the living is easy, the laid backness of it.
I guess I'm used to my dad who's works in Ventura, and he's like one of a dying breed that like is a plumber, has his own business, plumber contractor, but like those are all the things that I've learned from him where it's like, and he is still so busy he can't even you know, like always even working. Him taking the time off that he does now because he's like getting older, he's still like when he's ready to work that week or whatever, it's just crazy. Yeah. And people will wait. They'll wait for him.
You always wait for good work.
Exactly. Honest, good work that like he won't leave before it's finished. He'll do it exactly right. If something gets messed up or if he sees something else, he'll just fix it. It's not like, hey, well, here we go, another, you know what I mean? Like just doing the job right, leaving it cleaner than you came.
Sure.
And giving a fair price.
Yeah. You're not going to get the old, sorry, folks, park's closed.
Yeah, or 2 weeks notice. Like, I mean, he does now, but back in the day, it was like he was up at 5 and older. He was working all day.
In his 60s?
Yeah, so it's like he was up early and he was working all day for what I know.
Yeah.
So that's where I get that from. And it's just crazy that you're like, there's nobody. I haven't met another person here or even out there that like takes that same level of pride in something like that. They're always like bigger and better things. Yeah. You know, the handyman that wants to be a real estate agent. Get out of my fucking face. Yeah. Do this job first and, you know, with pride and whatever. And we'll see what happens with your real estate career.
Isn't that kind of the world though? Everybody's looking for a better job where it's just like, it's rare,
and that's what I mean.
You meet somebody who actually loves what they do.
Right.
And they're in it and you're like, oh shit. This
and wants
awesome.
To be the best and do the best and like create a clientele, like doing good work. I have a couple people that I've found out here doing good work because they know I'm going to call them again. That's huge. Or like when I was doing hair, it's like I would give people either a deal or like go above and beyond because they're going to come back.
Sure.
And just creating that for yourself. Nobody wants that.
No, nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants this other job too. That's up, by the way. This is James. As aliens get closer and closer and closer to living with us, because you know they're real, and I'm tired of you denying them. Tired of you being an alien denier. I'm
not an alien denier. I'm not going to explain my stance again.
Okay. But there is a company called AECOM that is looking for flight attendants to take in private aircraft to Area 51, which is fucking awesome.
Private, so that would be like just anyone who wants to go? What's private?
No. It's for the people who work at Area 51, in and out, back and forth, out of there. They fly them in on this jet. The jet is unmarked. It's got one red strip on it, and that's it. I kind of want to be on that flight. I want to.
They would love for me to do it because I'm a denier.
Yeah, and you
that would be a good criteria. Like, oh, she doesn't care. Like,
they're looking. It says, "Are you a Las Vegas-based flight attendant looking for work and able to keep secrets?"
There's a lot wrong with that.
Do you feel positively about working for an airline that sort of doesn't exist? Happen to have top secret clearance with the U.S. government or think you can snag one? This is not a joke. This is what the classified ad said. And it's Janet's is what they're calling it. It's the airline is called Janet.
Sure.
Because they don't have a name for it. So they made up one. People have speculated what Janet stands for because they have no meaning. There's no meaning on the website. A lot of people say it stands for just another non-existent terminal. So at McCarran Airport in one of the hangars, this fucking plane exists. This is where they fly people in and out of from Vegas to Area 51. I would imagine you would have to fly in there to get to Area 51 before you can fly into Area 51. So I'm assuming that's where everybody goes, and then they take you to this private terminal.
Gotcha.
But this also feeds into that story we told a few weeks back where the government was renting out those old foreclosures, since there were so many foreclosures in Vegas, to put all of those UFOs who had crashed, store all their material so they could get it back to wherever the fuck they were taking it to. Mm-hmm. So that feeds into that as well.
Sure.
So if you have to fly into Vegas to get to Area 51, no matter what, and that was the only place you can fly out of.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Then all of this is really starting to come together is what I'm saying.
Sure. Yes. No, I know.
And I'm amped about it every fucking day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
If I was all those things that they're asking for, and I have been Vegas based before, I would do it.
Oh, yeah. Would you?
Yeah.
It's a short flight.
Again, because I don't care.
Yeah. It's Groom Lake, Nevada. So
it would just be a cool thing to say. Flight. Like, yeah, I go to Area 51.
I go to Area 51. That's what I do. What do you do? I mean, I wonder if they speak on that plane. Do they know each other? Do they talk? I'm endlessly fascinated by this. I'm endlessly fascinated by Area 51. And I told you I've gone, and they stopped us. Like, it's real fucking sketch.
Right.
But I to get a flight in, I wonder if they're talking on the flight. I wonder if there is no talking. I wonder if they know each other. Have they known each other for a long time? Is that where you fly in and out of to get back to your families? And that's what I imagine it is. Mm-hmm. So
again, you could not get this job.
No.
Too many questions from you.
It would be
way
I
too many
even make
questions.
it through the first flights.
No. Do you guys know each other? Do you talk? Yeah. What's going on?
What are their bodies like? When you press the bodies, do they go all the way in? Do they go all the way in?
Diet Coke, yeah.
Is it gooey?
Mm-hmm.
I would have a million fucking questions about that place.
Also, you're a little bit large, tall to be a flight attendant.
I'm a gigantic man.
You can't even really fly that comfortably, let alone
not in coach.
Walk around with like a cart.
If I'm in
bending down.
If I'm in coach, I'm the guy that you're sitting in front of when you can't pull your seat back. Like that 3 inches of extra comfort that you want. Can't do it because my knees are pressed up against the seat. And it's just like, hey man, nowhere to go.
Sure.
Nowhere to go. Things got almost violent on one flight that I was on. A woman, it was a flight from New York to LA. And yeah.
Can't go back. The lady couldn't go back.
The lady couldn't go back, and
it's a long flight.
Yeah, and it was for me. It was a last minute flight. I had to get out of there, so like I got maybe one of the last seats on the plane, and I'm in coach, and this fucking woman, and they had been on some vacation to Australia or something like that, and
I know the type.
God, she was such a fucking cunt.
Oh yeah, she talked to the manager every time they went out in Australia.
Yeah,
she had to talk to the manager.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. So I get on this flight. She starts to try to. She is just raking this thing back. I mean, just and then just. Breathing heavy, like looking back through the crack in the seats because it was him and her and her husband.
And it goes an inch back, and she's like, "Oh, so much better."
And she's like, "No, it didn't go back at all."
I know, but like so that's what she wanted.
Finally, I said after her third puff, like,
sure.
Finally, I said to her, I go, "Hey, lady," I was like, "Look, I'm fucking 6'3.5". I was like, my knees are jammed up against this thing. It's not going anywhere. The seat's not going anywhere." And she looks at me and she goes, "Well, I'm going to keep trying." And I go, at this point, I was stunned. I was like, what?
People get so
She goes,
weird.
I'm going to keep trying. And I go, look, lady, I'm going to be fucking real with you here. And I use that tone because I had lost it at this point. Like my knees are fucking wrenched. Like she'd already bashed my legs in 90 times at this point. And I go, I'm going to be fucking real with you here. The only way you're going to try to get the seat back is if you get a goddamn bandsaw and cut off my legs, Lieutenant Dan style.
Sure.
I'm going to go back to that wide on that. Boom.
Right.
Lieutenant Dan style here, because otherwise your seat's not going to be able to go back. And she was like, well, we're supposed to be able to put the seats back. And I go, I would love for you to be able to. Yeah, I'm supposed to be able to fit. So I was like, stop fucking pulling your goddamn button. And this is when the husband turns around and looks at the size of me. Look, I'm a large man, 6'3.5", running about 205, somewhere in there. And he was like, stop. He leaned over and was just like, stop, honey, stop. She got the fucking stewardess over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the stewardess is like, what's the problem? And she was like, she's like, ma'am, he's really tall. Like that's, and I go, and I even offered, I go, look, lady, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll switch spots with you. So you want to go back? You can take my seat and I'll take yours. And then because I'd love to kick mine back. That would be great.
Sure.
Wasn't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was just like, just huffing the whole fucking way. And that's a long flight. It's about 5 hours. About 2 hours in, I get up to take a piss. And
she put it back.
Yep. I come back and she had put the fucking seat back. I had to get the stewardess. I was like, hey, I can't get back in my seat because of you. And again, she tried to do the whole fucking, I was supposed to get the whole fucking thing back and all this shit. And I was like, I go, honestly, whatever vacation you were on in Australia, because I heard her talking to somebody else about this vacation in Australia. I go, I bet you were a goddamn nightmare. And I looked, because I'm standing at this point, and because I can't get back in my seat. I'm looking at her husband, and I go, you, sir, are a fucking saint. And if there is some badge of honor that we could present you for being married to a person like this, we would all chip in money and give it to you. And like the whole place, the other seats are dying laughing at this point as they saw what was going on. She's getting more infuriated that she's such a bitch. And finally that somebody had called her out. Because usually people like that don't get called out in everyday life.
Right.
Usually they're just a cunt
every
single day of their life.
She obviously has money, and she's talking to everybody that's working for her, and they all bow down to her. And every once in a while.
And so I was that fucking dude who was just like, nah, we're done with that today. Like we're all done. Like afterwards, she gets off the plane. When she stood up, because she didn't stand up, so I didn't get to see how tall she was. She was about 5'2". No lie.
What a little bit.
Yeah. And I was like, so you're 5 foot, so you needed to put your fucking seat back? Like, because I'll be real. If I get on a flight and I notice somebody's taller behind me, I'm not going to do it. That 3 inches means nothing in my life.
It really doesn't.
And it doesn't do anything, like at all. Like that 3 fucking inches of like,
there we go. I am so comfortable.
Does nothing.
Yeah. I just feel
so
like
I'm respectful of it.
People on flights just like lose all. I mean, we just turn into
fucking animals.
I mean, we are being waterboarded in a fart tube.
Yeah.
But that's part of it, where we're just all being like slowly water torture for hours.
Yeah. And we had
go
our experience.
crazy.
We had our experience in the Atlanta airport, which was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, but that's not the, I know. That was horrible, but it's pretty much always bad. 2
weeks later, at JFK.
Oh yeah.
There was passengers stuck on flights for 24 hours on the runway.
And that's not okay.
No.
Like that's crazy. I would literally lose my mind.
The passengers, like there was fights. And
yes.
Like all of this, they were like, there was fist fights, all this shit.
Lord of the Flies.
Yes. And because what happened was it got so cold in New York that the water pipes burst. The fucking heat went out. There was terminals without heat or water for 24 hours. Fuck. Some people were stuck in the airport for 3 days and they weren't letting them out of the airport. God. The people on the plane, there was a passenger that was stuck on a plane for 22 hours. And they asked him what that was like. And he said they let him off the plane once to eat inside the airport. I guess they opened up the restaurants, were taking passengers off their planes into the airport to eat and then putting back on their planes.
I wouldn't go. Why do you have to go back on?
I would have left. I don't know, because like
done.
You're like,
call up Delta or whatever it is and be like, not doing this.
And we went through this.
Yeah.
Ourselves, we were getting the fuck out of there. Like I didn't give a shit about that next
We went
flight.
through a tunnel in the dark.
Yeah.
Up an escalator that didn't work.
The fuck out of there.
Sure.
We got an Uber.
I'm not dealing with that shit.
We got an Uber 3 hours to our next city, and then called the airline and said, "Hey, you guys fucking cancel the flight. Like you guys fucked this up." So
yeah.
In no way, shape, or form would I sit on a flight for 20 hours, because then you're getting into the territory of that guy over in what was it, Spain, who opened up the
exit row.
Exit row.
And got out on the wing.
Yeah. They were. What were they stuck for? for 8 hours or something in the plane.
Right, but that for me, too much. 4 hours, too much. Like
too much. And
I cannot do that.
It's a fine, is what it is. So you're not getting.
Take the fine.
I would take the fine.
Absolutely.
Now that I know what it is, if I'm ever stuck on an airplane that long, I'm going out the fucking exit door.
Stuck, or even when we were outside with those blankets in the rain or whatever.
Yeah.
And that lady was like, "No, sir, you can't walk over there." You're like, "Why not? Like, what are you gonna do?
Who's to stop me?
Find me. I'm walking to a terminal where I can get out of here."
Yeah. And I don't care. Like, if there's no police there, guess what? I don't care what your job is.
Sure.
If you're in a situation like that where everything is fucked up,
get the police here and arrest me. And you know what that will do is I'll at least get a ride out of here.
A ride in a warm car, and I'll get a nice meal in jail.
Come arrest me. Yeah, exactly.
A nice comfy bed to
and
sleep
it'll
in.
Be better than this.
Yeah. Because I've been in jail a few times. It's not bad.
Sure, we've all been in the clink.
Yeah, not bad.
A couple times.
For one night in the pokey versus 20 hours on a plane.
I'd do that.
Same here. Mm-hmm. Forget it. Not even a question.
Not even
one question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. So those people who lost their shit, I read a few articles who were like, oh my God, these people are fucking chaos. No.
You're already at that point.
Oh yeah. You're already at the breaking point. When you go through security,
you're already there.
You're already at the breaking point. Then
and that's what I feel. I'm just like, fuck, like as soon as you get on the plane, you've already been waiting for however long, it's delayed or whatever, always delayed at least a little bit. You finally get on there, everybody gets their bag shoved into the thing because they charge you 20, like stop charging people so we don't have to deal with that shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they can just check their bags and we can like all just walk on with our purses and be like, cool, let's do this. See ya. Instead of like, I can't get it. It's like a full size.
And then there's tags to, oh, this doesn't fit underneath the seat. You gotta check it, but we'll bring it back to you. Then you gotta get your other bags down to the fuck shack. And
I know it's not groundbreaking to talk about
not.
Air travel, but you're already.
But these,
every time I'm just like, oh God, like I used to love it.
These two major mishaps and arguably, besides O'Hare, Atlanta and this was JFK this happened in. So it wasn't like LaGuardia. It was JFK Airport in New York.
Right.
Fucking chaos. I mean, just absolute chaos. And, it was Chuck Schumer who got on there and was just like, well, everything bad happened at once. I don't care. To me, all of those people were justified in whatever the fuck they decided to do. Kill
other passengers for food. Because they didn't have food on there either.
No. Because you run out of food. Shit, you run out of cheese plates on a Delta flight, like
just in general.
Because now that you have to pay for your own food and shit, if you're in coach, I get on and they immediately like, oh, sir, would you like a drink? No, I want that fucking cheese.
I want the cheese plate because
go ahead and charge me for it. Because by the time you get around to it, they'll be gone.
And now
You've
it's
got like 4 of them. They have 4 of like the good items, and the rest are fucking gone. You're just like, I can't deal with it.
And now it's like, it's scary to get on. Now it's like scary to get on a flight because you don't know how long you're going to be in the fart tube.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you walk on, you're just like, and then as soon as you sit down is when they're like, well, we're just waiting for some paperwork. And you're like, oh, fuck. This is it, dude.
If you're in first class, you could probably sit through that and be like, all right, great.
You could, but you know what? They also let them get off and back on.
No.
I've seen it before, yeah. They'll let them run and do whatever they need to do. I've seen ladies run inside, get water.
It's the only way to fly.
It's the only way to fly.
I know. And you become an asshole about it. No.
Not that I know.
Well, next up, the fucking Eminem shit, dude, is starting to heat up again.
What's up?
Eminem's album was terrible.
Yes.
It was awful. And I'm an Eminem fan.
Right.
I was really looking forward to it.
He went off brand and we didn't like it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And started inviting weird, Beyonce did a track with him. Ed Sheeran.
It's the only one I could handle, but yeah.
I hated that song.
Okay.
I didn't like the whole scribbling.
I like the hook.
Yeah, so do I. But he's scribbling through it. So like he's writing on a piece of paper through it.
Yeah, but that's what he did with Stan.
I get it, but you did it with Stan. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not his signature.
Why? Yeah, why go back that route?
Okay.
People trash that song. They trash the entire album. Everybody universally across the board. He didn't do himself any favors with that bullshit Donald Trump fucking underground garage thing.
No.
Because again, like we talked about with Oprah, running for president, you're alienating half of America right there.
Right.
So you're just telling the 65 million people who voted for him, fuck you.
Right.
You're not good enough anymore.
Right.
You know what they told him in turn? Fuck you.
Right.
His album sales were awful.
Wow.
His album sales first week were around 250,000, which for him is terrible. Taylor Swift opening week came in at 1.2.
Mm-hmm.
Drake, who put out the Sade album last year, which was just, boring, snooze fest. Come out with some fucking smackers, Drake. That at least that was over 500,000. Eminem's was half of Drake's album. And he's blaming it on everybody else. Like nobody gave it a chance. And he released a diss track last night, dissing everybody who dissed his album, which is a first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we're alienating them again?
I don't know what he's doing.
Right. So like the same people that you pissed off, you're just pissing off more?
No, this was against the critics and the critics only.
Okay.
So he's saying to the critics who gave my album a negative review, started naming people my names, disc jockeys for radio stations.
Did they name us or?
No, they did not.
Ugh.
Strange.
I don't
think they come after the Jables.
They're scared.
They're coming after the Jables.
No, obviously they know what's good for them.
So he does a diss track, against people the critics who hated his fucking album, and it's made it even worse over the last day, which is just like
that's not how you do it.
Yeah,
that's not how you do this.
First of all, when you come out with the Donald Trump track, again, half your audience is gone. Forget it. They're just not going to listen to your shit because now they know your personal thoughts on politics and they fucking hate you, and that's it. That's over with. It's kind of like coming out swinging against somebody's religion. If you came out and said I fucking hate Christianity, same thing. You'd lose half your fucking audience. Sure. That was the first strike going into this album for me. The little beard thing. I know I've brought it up before, but he has this little beard now.
What do you mean?
This tiny little beard. That's very faint. It's a very faint beard.
Is it flesh colored? Or is it darker?
It's dark. Here's the thing. It's super dark, like just for men dark.
Oh, okay.
And he's 45. I can promise you this, under any circumstance, any man in this world at the age of 45 has gray hair and more than likely a gray beard.
Sure.
That is fact. You have to color up at 45 years old. Mm-hmm. There is nobody genetically
not.
What? No, or not. No.
Yeah,
but I'm saying if you want to keep it dark and it's not gray, if you want to keep it non-gray, you got to color up. You got to color up in this life at 45 years old. Eminem is 45 years old. Therefore, he does not have a dark black beard like that. It looks like it's painted on Microsoft Paint style.
Okay.
So
Joey Fatone or something?
Yes. Okay. That's exactly what it looks like. So when you see him in that performance, like especially in the Trump one, which was shot in black and white, and I'm assuming to mask the tiny little beard.
Sure.
When he starts going out and doing press and performances and all of this shit, this little tiny beard is now prominent, and it looks like, oh man, you're too old to be doing that now.
Right.
And the weird thing is, if he shaved, he looks younger.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's no reason for the tiny beard.
And he looks like Eminem.
Yeah.
Like, again, on brand.
Yes.
You know who it is.
Yep. You know who it is. Do you remember Michael Jackson had that tiny little facial hair to cover it up, and it was like painted on black?
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
That's what it looks like. Okay.
So with that look, that's strike two. So you're going off brand again, where it's just like, hey man, just shave. You still look like a young Eminem without this weird little beard.
Just put out fucking bangers and call it a day.
I don't get it. But why he wanted to do this beard, like, is strange. Like, because again, he still looks like Eminem, like a young Eminem. Just shave the fucking weird beard. And,
he looks great, actually.
Yeah, and to paint this on, like to color that up all the time. God damn, that takes a lot of work and time.
With like a mascara wand.
Yeah. It takes so much work and time. Don't do it. And look, the critics came after him for that. Then they came after him, for his age. Like if you're 45 and you're still rapping about the same shit, when you were 25, it's weird. Like, you should have grown a little bit. You should have grown up or whatever. On this album, apparently, like, he apologized to his ex-wife and some other things. But you know, it's strange, and I think you've got to change and find a new, you know, not identity, but like realize who you are and kind of keep your shit on brand towards that. Because there was a track called White Boy on there. It was called something else, like Regression or something else. But the whole chorus was, white boy, you're embarrassed to be a white boy. And it's just like, dude, you make a track called that you're embarrassed to be white as well, on top of with the other shit of going after the president.
Right.
There goes more of your audience who is just like, bro, I don't want to hear your fucking white guilt album either. Like, the whole album was fucking weird to me. And I don't know if you can go back and get these people now. I don't know if you can go back and get those fans, or if he wants to. He's only dropping an album about, you know, once every 5 years. So if Trump gets reelected, what is he going to do? He'll be 50 at this point? No. Can a rapper still last at 50? Jay-Z is getting close to it. And
how old's Dre?
Dr. Dre is 50, but he hasn't had a new album since 2001. And that's been the ongoing thing with Dre, is he's had this album called Detox, right?
Yeah.
It's essentially like Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy. It's been there for 10, 15 years. For whatever reason, he won't put it out or release it. Those who have listened to it, including Eminem, say it's fucking awesome. Right. And he has no reason. Dre was on an interview yesterday and said that he was still working on tracks for the album and it wasn't dead. So I don't know, but I would imagine it's the same thing where he's looking at it after watching his documentary, which was fucking phenomenal. He's probably looking at it from the same viewpoint of, shit, man, I'm fucking 50. Will kids still dig my shit?
Yeah.
Will they still dig it? And I think anything with a great beat and a strong hook, I think kids will dig it no matter what. Time and time again, we've proven that a good beat in a good hook is really all you need. Yeah. You know, like these fucking artists who are out now, you know, the ones who were able to overcome it, I would think that new Migos track with Motorsport with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, terrible beats. The Migos aren't very good, and I like the Migos, but Nicki Minaj and Cardi B came out, just dropped two fucking massive verses on it, and everybody loves the song because of those two verses. So there is occasions, rarely, where you're able to overcome it with two, you know, dope rapping or whatever. But you know, Dre's been known for his fucking beats, so he could drop it. Same with Eminem, like he could do it. I don't know how you get now. I don't know how you get those fans back. It's kind of like Dixie Chicks. I just keep mentioning him because I want him to know that I haven't forgot about him. Do you know what I mean? Dre, yeah. You haven't forgotten about Dre. I haven't forgotten about Dre. Yeah, so I just need to keep that out there. Yeah. You definitely haven't forgotten about Dre. But Eminem is making a big push this year. He's headlining Coachella. Dang. And then the Bonnaroo lineup just came out yesterday. He's headlining Bonnaroo as well, which seems strange. Those are two different festivals. I didn't think so. I didn't think you could either. I guess they're far enough apart. You can. They are, but you know, what are you then going to do? Lollapalooza in Chicago after that? Like, to me, if I'm a concert, like a festival goer like that, who travels to festivals, I'd be fucking pissed off. I wouldn't go see it. Okay. And we saw Eminem at Coachella. He came out during. It was awesome. It was Dr. Dre was the Doctor was headlining that one. And he Tupac. Was great when he came out. Yeah. Hologram. We were at the Hologram Tupac show. Hologram Tupac show. Yeah. Tupac. 2 packs. Gosh, if we would have only known we were at the Hologram Tupac show, you know? I know. Amazing. I know. But he was good at that. So I'll be, you know, I'm sure his live show will be awesome. He should stay away from the new shit. But I don't know how he recovers after this tour is done going forward with another album. Me personally. I think it's I'm giving up on Eminem. I think it's that time is over with. For me personally. I think Jay-Z is able to transcend because he takes his time. Gets good beats. I wasn't psyched that his album was nominated for Best Album of the Year for Grammys because I didn't think it deserved it. There was a couple tracks on that album that I liked, and the things he was trying to do on that album were at least inventive, and it felt like an artistic album where he made it for a handful of people, not a fucking mass,
right?
Not the mass audience, but it was still, you could recognize it as a good piece of art and maybe a stepping stone forward, kind of like Kanye's 808s and Heartbreaks, although that album had like fucking 90 bangers on it.
Right.
That lived forever, and I don't think Jay-Z's album will live forever, whereas Eminem's album, you're not looking at this as like an artistic thing, and nor is anybody going to go back and listen to this album 5 years from now and be like, oh man, remember that Eminem Ed Sheeran track? Why don't you throw that on at the fucking house party we're at? You're just not. Sure. You're not going to do it with that.
Sure.
Do you have a crime corner? There was a rumor that you had a crime
corner. Crime
corner.
Okay, crime corner.
The audience has been missing the crime corners. We got a lot of emails for your crime corner.
A couple, huh?
Do you have a graphic that's going to pop up for this? Crime corner.
Sure.
Okay.
Crime corner. So a Florida woman who caught husband cheating takes a dump on the floor.
She took a dump on the floor?
Mm-hmm. And asked the cops, what was I supposed to do? You know what I mean? So Brenda Schumann of Vero Beach, where do you think? Where do you
Vero
think
Beach.
she lives?
Yeah, I know Vero Beach.
Florida.
Yeah, she lives in Florida. I know that
she was arrested last month and charged with aggravated assault and domestic violence. Okay, so let me set the scene.
Yeah, did she beat the shit out of him before she took a dump on the floor?
So she threatened to kill. So she went into the house. They're separated. Husband and her are separated.
Sure.
She goes into the house and threatens to kill her husband and his girlfriend that's there with him. And she burst into the home of her estranged husband the early morning hours of December 21st. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
And aimed a rifle at his girlfriend, yelling, I'll fucking kill you both. Obvious.
Yeah.
And during a moment of distraction, the husband managed to get the weapon from her and hid in a closet.
How, like, when you say distraction, what are we doing here? Are we clapping? Are we saying, look over there?
Yeah, exactly. A moment
hey, you're
of
not going to believe this. Like, what
Well,
what
she's
is it?
obviously super sane, stable.
Yeah, of course.
Not wasted,
Goes
all of
without
that.
saying.
So I think it would be
pretty
easy maybe to distract her. Maybe the girlfriend runs and she,
right.
something.
Were any shots fired? Do we know?
Yes. So
yeah.
Brenda, she refused to leave and proceeded to the hallway where she urinated on the carpet. Mm-hmm. Then she moved to the downstairs kitchen, shit on the floor.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
Wandered around some more.
Yeah.
And found a second rifle in the house.
Yeah.
Okay. And then began to shoot up photos and mirrors and Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
With her rampage, let's see, she left the residence still armed with the rifle, and Brenda was later arrested at her home on the same street.
Of
but
course.
not
of course
before resisting arrest. And
God, these crime corners every time, Javes, you were delivering the goods to the American
I'm letting
people.
the people know. Yeah. So she said, I found him in bed with a naked chick.
Yeah.
What was I supposed to do?
Take a shit on the floor.
What else was I supposed to do? You tell me. She's talking to the cops. You tell me.
Take a dump on the floor.
What would you do?
I like it.
I like it. And then it makes me wonder, why do you think they got divorced? You know what I mean? It's like that kind of passion.
Yeah. If you're angry enough to take a shit on the floor.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I could on cue.
Yeah. Take a dump on the floor.
Like that. Maybe it wasn't planned out. And it was just like, this is what I have to do. So she's peeing all through the hallways.
Right. Is that what she did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so she left.
Good.
She left as she was looking for the other rifle. She peed all through the hallway.
Okay.
Found the other shit on the floor. Found another rifle and then started shooting up the whole house.
So, a lot of questions here. A lot of questions here.
Shoot.
When you start off with peeing on the hallway, is that like, are you trying to, was she trying to shit first, do you think? Or was she trying to extend it of like, you know what, I'm going to piss all down the hallway and then shit on the floor?
I think it was a thing of like, you're so mad.
Right.
And you're just like, you like just don't know what to do. You're just like crumple up a cup and like throw it.
Hysterical blindness. Sure.
Something like you're so pissed, there's nothing to like do. Bang something. So you just
take shit on the floor. Yeah.
And, what else are you supposed to do? And she's right.
Yeah, she is right.
What else was she meant to do?
Oh, boy. Good on her.
So anyways, bringing the goods, bringing the hard-hitting
Crime Corner.
stories.
Crime Corner.
Crime Corner.
Every time it's a gift from heaven.
Obviously hard-hitting and well-researched.
Yeah. Super stoked on that, James. Really, these Crime Corners are the only thing that gets me through the week. The audience was angry because they haven't been on the show, and I said it was by no design, no fault.
Sure,
but you only do the hardest hitting crimes, and I want people to know that.
Listen, I don't bring you pish posh.
No,
you know what I mean. I don't bring.
You bring in the big dogs.
I bring in the headlines, the headline news, breaking stories.
Yeah.
Things that are affecting a whole community.
Shooting up a whole house during the holidays and then taking a shit on the floor.
Yeah.
I would say that's the only news story that I need to hear.
Yeah,
this week, going forward.
Out of Vero Beach, I'm sure it really shook up.
Vero Beach down there shit gets wild, man.
It really shook up that block where those two live together. Very close together.
Break.
I would say maybe move farther away.
Yeah. Nah, why would you?
Advice. If I was going to give advice to these two lovebirds,
Again, Beach
I would.
Town.
Yeah.
Beach Town. There it is.
A little quite.
Yeah.
Just.
Now's the point when we get to the revolutionary figure of the day, shall we?
We shall.
This one, I couldn't help it. this week. It's got to go out to Nick Saban.
Okay.
Coach of Alabama.
Interesting.
Why is he the revolutionary figure of the day, you might ask? There was a record that I thought would never be tied or broken, especially in the modern era of college football. Bear Bryant, the old coach for Alabama, back in the day, like way, way back in the day, fucking 90 years ago. Seemed like it. Probably not 90 years, but it seemed like it.
Sure.
It seemed like it. He had won 6 national championships. Which is the record. Nick Saban, after this title on Monday nights, tied him, which is truthfully like hard to wrap your mind around. And although I'm not a fan of watching that style of football because it's fucking boring as all goddamn hell. I mean, it is. It is. We went to the game. You were with me. We went to the very first game of the year, Alabama FSU.
Oh yes.
Yeah. You forgot about that.
I had fun.
You didn't forget about Dre, but you forgot about the
gals. And again, I will never forget about Dre. Okay.
Yeah. But even that game was, I don't know, 23-6 or something like that. Or it was just this slow-paced, boring running game where you were like, oh yeah, there's some points on the board there, and you definitely won the football game. But this is heavy defensive games with no offense are hard to watch. Again, although I don't like that style of play, he is more than effective with it. And in my opinion, and this is a lot for me to say as an Ohio State fan, and we've had some great coaches at Ohio State: Urban Meyer, Woody Hayes. We've had 2 of the finest coaches you could have ever. I would say, in my opinion, Nick Saban is now the greatest college football coach of all time. To win 6 in the modern era is impossible. Back when Bear Bryant, the guy he tied, was coaching, you didn't have that. We have over 300 colleges in America today. You had maybe 50, 100, something like that. That could actually had a field of football team and play Division I college football. So therefore, everybody was going to one school, and chances are you were going to be playing for the national championship or pretty goddamn close to it every time. You knew what you were getting into by going to Alabama back in the day and going to these schools. Today's college is very, very different. There is so much competition that you have the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Oklahomas, the Texas A&Ms. Like, there's a million teams that are up for it. All of the SEC, Wisconsin, the Big Ten. Like, there's so many schools up against it every year. To win 6 in this era is I thought it was impossible, and he fucking did it. And especially in this fashion of, again, this shitty offense, dumping your entire offense, putting in all freshmen who have never played before in the national championship to try to win a national championship is ballsy. Typically, a move like that goes down in flames. You end up getting housed across the board. Whenever you lose your starting quarterback, who Jalen Hurts, for the quarterback of Alabama, was 25-2 in his last 2 years as the starting quarterback. To pull him out of the game and put a true freshman who's played 20 snaps in his entire life in college and have him lead you to a national title is not only ballsy, but it says you're really trying for that fucking title. Because if you go down in flames, and you end up. I thought when he put in all of those freshmen, it was going to be 45-0, and maybe he was just going to get him some playing time, but he wasn't, and he started chucking the ball and going for it and threw the playbook out, and it was an incredible feat. And therefore, in my opinion, Nick Saban is the revolutionary figure of the day, because I don't know another coach. Maybe Urban Meyer can do it. Maybe if he stays long enough, who could tie that record or break it. But Saban's still coaching, so I think he will extend this record and be the all-time leader himself. And that's truly hats off. Like, I talk enough shit about college football and other teams and all of that stuff. And when somebody wins and they're dominant force in winning, and they've won five, he's won 6 titles total, 5 titles in the last 9 years, one coach. That's just utter dominance, and you can't help but tip your hat to him. So to Nick Saban and the Alabama fans, congratulations on a national championship. That was a true miracle, in my opinion. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't think we will again, where somebody empties out their bench like that and just plays freshmen. Amazing. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, Crime Corner. I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone.
Good night.